welcome to our first guest Bondi Snapshot for 2017. And what a way we've got to start this year. We have James Hayashi, who is our exclusive auctioneer to Phillips Panzer Donnelly. He's here to give us a few tips for buyers and sellers on the auction process. James, thank you very much for joining us here on our first guest edition of Bondi Snapshot.
Thanks for having me.
So James, now I know there's a little bit of a perception out there in the public of auctions being a little bit of a scary thing. So talk us through, obviously from a buyer's perspective, there's one angle, and obviously from a vendor's perspective. So just tell us a little bit from the buyers, what can they expect?
So for buyers, look, it's not a scary day. You know, you've been to the property a number of times, you've had your inspections, you know, you've dealt with a great agent. Now it's just time to act. The fear is, you know, that you won't buy the property. So what you need to do is bid with confidence. Turn up to the day, know what your limits are, know what you're going to bid to, have a good strategy in place, listen to your agent where they're guiding you, and then stick to your strategy.
Is there a strategy with small bids or large bids, or is it just a matter of putting your hand up?
Look, I think it is definitely with bidding, the increments you're using. In this sort of market today, I'd be going in really strong. So I'd be opening as close to my limit as possible, but also trying to get a gauge of where my competition is. Because at the end of the day, if you want to win, then you have to be in it. You know, you have to raise that card and make sure that you make your intentions clear, draw that line in the sand and show people that you're there and you're serious.
Now, from the vendor's perspective, obviously we get to auction day and even actually talking to vendors, you know, especially some of the older people who are sort of selling the family home for the first time, getting a little bit, you know, is auction the right thing for me?
Look, it's quite a nerve-wracking experience. Obviously, people don't sell property every day. You know, it's not like riding a bike or driving a car, but there's no need to be nervous. You know, if you've got a good agent who's doing great follow-up, who's letting you know exactly where the buyers are, you've got a great auctioneer, then take the stress out of your hands and put it onto the agent and the auctioneer. That's what our jobs are for.
So what can an owner expect on auction day? Auction
day, look, I typically get there maybe 15 or 20 minutes before the auction. We'll have a quick chat. I usually introduce myself to the owners during the campaign by a phone call, sometimes a face-to-face meeting. I've done all my research on the property, so I know all the ins and outs. I've spoken to the agents and we know exactly where the buyers are and what our strategy needs to be. So to expect on the day, look, just sit back, relax. You're in good hands. We've got you. We're here to get you the best price possible.
Fantastic. And I know in the past you have actually taken the time to actually have meetings with some of our vendors if they do get that little bit nervous sort of prior to an auction happening.
Definitely. Look, we're here to provide a service. If you need me to come and sit down with you, go through the strategy, discuss what's actually happening in the campaign, then that's what I'm there to do.
Well, I know that you've certainly made a lot of my vendors feel very comfortable when it's coming up, and that's when you've got a family of people and they're selling, you know, the family home, you engage with all of them, and it certainly makes that process a lot easier.
It's about putting people at ease, you know, it shouldn't be a stressful process. You know, you need to feel confident that you've got the right agent, the right auctioneer, the right brand representing your sale.
And it's true, isn't it? Because I mean, selling your home is the biggest single transaction you're ever going to do in your life. So you want to make sure every single box of that is ticked right. And I guess that's why we say auction is probably one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's the most open and transparent way. You know, you're getting the most number of buyers through your home for a given period of time. You've got a specified end date. So a buyer knows they have to bid on or before that date to secure the property.
So James, obviously you touched on that sort of extracting those extra bids from the buyer, and sometimes that's a little bit intimidating. I guess you've offered that service of meeting up with the vendors beforehand. Is it something you're happy to do with, you know, buyers who may be a little bit nervous about their first purchase?
Yeah, most definitely. Look, I've had a number of calls last year from buyers who took my name and number off the website, gave me a call and just asked me about strategies. You know, what do I see in the market? What do I see successful bidders do? You know, I've called thousands of auctions, so I understand, you know, pretty well what the strategy should be. So if a buyer wants to call me, I'm always available 24/7.
Well, James, this has been absolutely fantastic, sort of catching up on everything about auctions. But just to close off, what was the standout auction of last year?
That'd have to be 3 Bronte Marine Drive in Bronte. We had a reserve of 6 million on that one, ended up selling for 7,350,000, so 1.3 million above reserve price.
And didn't the purchaser fly in that morning from Singapore?
Yeah, flew in from either Singapore or London from memory. They were there, they were definitely there to bid and buy. Opened the auction and went really, really hard. So they had a great strategy.
That was fantastic. James, thank you very much. And everybody, if you have any questions about auctions, please feel free to phone James or email James. His details are on our website. Looking forward to another successful year, James, and thanks for coming along today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us. I hope that's made the auction process a little bit easier to understand and less intimidating. And don't forget, the best way to get experience of bidding or selling at auction is to go out and experience it. And coming up in the next 2 weekends, we have got some crackers for you. With a full back-to-back schedule on the 18th and 25th of February, there's going to be some auctions that are going to be sure to interest you. I hope to see you there.